So let's start. Today is the Father's Day in Germany, and we have our first day off. Many people have long weekend, but the special guest who will join our live stream now have found the time to join us and to talk, EgoSelf talk. Let's invite Heiner Backhaus here. Let's see how to exactly. Here we're guest to Heiner Backhaus on the Father's Day. Let's wait till he joins us. Hope the connection works and our internet has no day off. So I wave Heiner back. Okay. Yay! Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Heiner. Let me thank you right away that you found the time on your Father's Day and congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let me introduce you to the audience, since not all of my followers are the football fans. This is Heiner Backhaus. He's 39 years old. He is an ex-professional football player from Germany. He has quite vivid football professional life behind him. And now he is a football coach, football trainer. And as he says, he is their mentor for them. And I want to start right away with this saying that followed me the whole time. What is a mentor? What makes one football trainer a mentor?
First of all, that's what you called me. I never called myself a mentor. I can't judge myself to be a mentor. I just say that I'm coaching from my heart, from my passion. I have been a football player, so I have a very big empathy for my players, I would say so far. But to be a mentor, I think belongs much more to you than just to be a football coach.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Then I read it between the lines, so to say. But I think that there is something in it that you coach from the heart that makes you mentor. And did you get special education to become a trainer, or you don't need it in the football? It's enough to have such a big career behind you.
I call it a big privilege because till the day today, thanks God, I was able to follow my hobby all life. I have never felt one day of my whole entire life that I go to work. When I go in a football stadium or to the training field or meeting players or agents or coaches. So I feel myself very happy and privileged to be in the position I am, because when you go in the mornings to the city centers and you see how many people go at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to work, you realize that your life is a special one. So I'm very happy.
That's nice to hear. By the way, I agree with you very much. That's what moved me to finally start the business I started, to do things I love. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yes.
So do you have a psychologist in the team, or a personal coach, a psychological counseling in the team who works with the team players, not only on the sport part, but on their mental health?
In our club, unfortunately not, but I think in the top teams in every country, you have psychological help inside their coaching staff, yes. Here in our team, we have quite a lot of young players who have fantastic agents, and the agents and the parents are more the psychologists behind them. So it's a very important thing for a coach to have a clear communication also to the background of the player, so that we don't need actually a psychologist here. But in general, when you have a bigger ambition and more pressure, because the pressure always to the top is a different one than our pressure we have. Of course, when you play Wednesdays Champions League and Saturdays in the national competitions, you don't have time for a lot of things like training. So the mental part of you is very important, and of course you need a specialist there.
I talked about it with Matthew Booth 1 month ago, and he comes from a big football, and he said that big football clubs don't offer this option, so to say, or he has never heard of any psychologist from the club. So this is interesting, and I thought, like, I agree with you. This is kind of pressure, as if you, I mean, this is huge pressure. Your fans, millions of of people watching you, and I was very surprised to know that there are no one. If you will need one, let me know.
I think in modern life where everything gets just seen in black and white, actually, in football especially, considering to be a head coach in the first team, you have no time to develop a player anymore. In professional football, the development has to be done in the academy level. So the communication is very important to the player, and for this you need the empathy. So most of the sport psychologists inside the team, they have a background in football. They are ex-players who used to study psychology besides playing football or after their career. So I think it's very important to have the football background in that, because a pure psychologist, I don't believe he can help you so much to understand the pressure.
Okay. The technique, so it should be a special person from both worlds, so to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a mentor in your life, or did you have the biggest mentor in your life who supported you, or who supports you now? Who would you like to thank today?
Oh, first of all, I have to thank my family, because the life I am able to do is not an easy one. First of all, my girlfriend, my long-term relation girlfriend, with a child who always support me in my hobby, it's very, very important, because if you don't have the stability at home, you can't be 12 hours a day working for your goals. So first of all, my family is the most important thing. Unfortunately, I lost my father, who was like kind of my mentor, especially when I was a child, who supported me a lot in football and in becoming the person I am. He died 7 years ago. So from that moment, I was I grew up actually. So my closest mentor, I would say, is my girlfriend. Yes.
That's fantastic. You are a lucky one to have it. I don't think many people can are so talented in this case. Super amazing. Do you do sports yourself nowadays? Like you see which guys doing it? Do you do your own thing?
To be honest, I became a bit lazy. I think every head coach after the career can say that. Yes, even me, I got lazy. But sometimes when you go to the dressing room and you see the fit bodies, you have the motivation to go for a run. But to be honest, when I stopped football, to be honest, I'm completely fine with that. I never regret stopping football in one day. I was a bit scared when I stopped that one day will come the day where it makes click and you want to play again. But thanks God, so far it never happened again. So I like to play tennis, for example. I like to go for a jogging. I like to go with a bicycle. Yeah, I like to hike. I was never liking hiking, for example. Now I'm hiking around here, and I see myself loving and enjoying the nature. So it's it's a different thing, and it opens the mind. Yeah.
We're getting old. I used to love it.
Yes.
Good. So we were speaking now about now and here. We got to know what you do, and this is interesting way to see how happy you are. You show how much you live actually in this very short time. You could see that. But let me go to the past a little bit, and let me read something what I found online in the online magazine Urbanita. They published it in 2014. I translated the sentences of yours from German to English, but I think you will recognize them. So let me read it out. You said, either you have the strong family connection and you stay at home your life long, or you don't have it easily in life since you were forced already as a kid to be a one-man team player. I felt myself better somewhere else than at home. Does it belong to you?
It would take ages to explain you the whole thing. I think the context was very important that was in the very beginning of my coaching time in Leipzig. Actually, we had a fantastic time. But I'm raised and born in the Ruhrgebiet. You know, the Ruhrgebiet is a industrial area where it's nothing but, in my opinion, football. So you have nothing else to do but playing football. So landscapely and geographically, there's nothing to explore actually. So I always say, in a funny way, when you're from the Ruhrgebiet, you never feel homesick, because if you follow a little bit my career, I have been in two fantastic places thanks to my profession and talent. And I always felt very happy when I learned the language, when I explored the culture of a new country. And as far as you keep on learning, you never miss home, in my opinion. Because whenever I came back home, the things were so familiar, so cool, but there was quite a standstill in life, to be honest. So when I met the people around my family, it's always a big pleasure to see them healthy. But I always felt like I want to achieve more, I want to learn more, I want to grow and grow and grow. So I'm happy.
So it didn't take long to explain it. So I understand the situation you explained why you said it by the time, because I think when I work also with people, we often speak about childhood. I myself worked a lot on my childhood to become who I am, and that's why I touched the subject. But do you still see connection between your childhood and between your adulthood? Does it influence you? Even it was great, you said your father is your biggest mentor. Does it follow this strength your whole adulthood? Or you think that people underestimate the childhood and
Of course, the childhood is very important in the terms of value. The values you learn in the raise of a child, integrity, loyalty, discipline. I think this comes from good parenting, actually. I'm a father too, so I'm trying to give this also to my kids. But I know that in psychology, many times the problems and the solutions they have to do with the childhood. I have a bit of different opinion. I believe that every day is a new challenge and should be the best day you should enjoy most. So let's say like carpe diem, enjoy the day. Try to be the best in your profession. Try to be the most integrity of a person every single day you live. And then life, in my opinion, it's a chain of small moments, and make the best of every moment, and then the chain will be a positive one. So I keep on saying that through all the pain you've been, the future is a bright one if you see this. And I think humility is a very important point. In Deutsch, Demut, that you see the things and accept them as they are. So I think there's always a glass half full of water. So it's your point of view if you see the full one or the empty one. So I'm seeing the full one, and I'm happy with the life I have.
do you think that people who have problems in childhood also, let's say, if you meet a talented football player who is still struggling with his past, do you think it makes sense to work on it with psychologists if you see that there is no success, that person doesn't come over it by himself? Do you believe in it?
Definitely. I call the three major columns of a football player is the natural born talent. This is something the player never can change. Some players have a born talent that they're very tall, very strong, very fast. Especially African players, they're very, very fast, and that is a natural gift, obviously. Then the second column is the other abilities, the things the players learn during their academy times in football, tactically, technically, conditionally. And the third part, and for me the most important part to work on, is the mentality. And in this mentality is, of course, one aspect is the psychology. And in football, there's in 90 minutes there are so many difficulties to take out of the path. Every single mistake has a psychological influence on you. So imagine you're a goalkeeper, and in the first minute you have just a centimeter the hand too much open, and the goal is inside the goal. Of course, it affects your personal motivation and the personal influence to the game. So the most important is to accept defeats and to accept maintenance and to be strong over a very long period of time. I think this has to do with coaching, but the coach is the best example to show this to the players. So when you see a player inside the game making a mistake and you see about the body language of the coach is negative, I think it affects the players. If you are positive in the moment they do a mistake, it will encourage them to see in front. And that's actually the only time we can change is the presence. It's not the past, it's not the future. So I believe if you're good, the future. So learn from the past and enjoy the future.
Do you speak with your players about private issues? Hello? I think we're losing connection. Hello? I hope Heiner will be back now. The conversation just starts to be super interesting. So let's wait for him a little. Heiner Backhaus just left. Probably has some connections problems. Let's try to invite him again. I see people write Heiner legend. I see people love him. Heiner, are you back?
Yeah.
Yay!
Sorry, I'm a technical nightmare and a disaster technically. Sorry, my phone was working alone.
It's all right. Thank you very much for being back. So do you speak with your football players also private issues? If you see that the guy comes often to the training in a bad mood and there's something, you feel something is wrong with him, do you speak about private issues on the field as well?
I wouldn't mind if the player opens up to talk about private things, and there are different players. I mean, some players they open up in a second. Some players they open up, they never open up. So the players know when they come inside my office, they know that they're in good hands. That what they speak inside here will stay inside here, and I will try to help them as much as I can. From my own perspective, subjective, but I would give my best to help him, because of course it affects the training and the game when the player has a bad mood. So we should sort it out before. But the players, they know that they always come inside here.
That's your work as a mentor, as a trainer. I think so too. It's like the teacher.
If you say so, I don't. I don't know.
I will send you the sentence where you send me to that. But let's stick to the person, to the football trainer, as you like to call yourself. Then you have boys, and I would like to ask you, what are you strict father actually in upbringing? How do you feel yourself? Are you strict, or you are the one who allows more?
I would say I am absolutely everything but not strict. I think my wife is a much harder person to the small one especially. But no, I would say I love to play with the child. I'm more the type of father who encourage the boys to be brave. You know, to try the best they can be. I would never judge them for having a bad result in school or in football. They all also play football, and I try to encourage them more or less. Yeah? Well, I get a bit nervous, and it sets me under pressure when they're lazy, because I don't like laziness, and I like to be prepared when I go to the pitch, so they have to do the same. So don't cry when you're not prepared and lose. So try to be better next time. That's my principle with my kids. But I love my children, as you can imagine, and I have boys, and of course you see similarities in many ways, and I love to be part of this development, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Do you see similarities between how you bring your kids up and between how your father brought you up? Do you see like the same sayings you say, or the patterns your father used with you and you would use with your kids?
No, oppositely, completely the other way around. My father died 7 years ago, so I don't want to judge him for something wrong he did actually, because actually that's I'm the person today because of many things. And the experiences, the best experience is not always the good one. Sometimes the bad experience is a healthier one for the long term in life. Sorry, but no, I think I try to be the best father I can be, with my experience, of course, as a child one day. But also, I think it helps you when you are a football coach, also sometimes to be a better father, because you have to do with upgrowing boys, and I see a lot of parallelism between being a father and being a coach. So I think my kids, they enjoy. They love me for being the person I am, but I know sometimes I make it also quite difficult for the mother. I really admit this.
I see. Good. I hope I stimulate you with the conversation, so you also have new thoughts maybe. Now I ask you something very, very strange maybe, but I checked your Instagram and I found you have a hashtag Jurgen Klopp. Are you his fan? You follow the hashtag?
No, I love the way Liverpool plays football. And to be honest, when he was in Borussia Dortmund, I love the way Borussia Dortmund used to play football. So in our past, I never compare myself to no other coach, because I think every coach has his special character and should be the person he is. If you copy a person, you never succeed. So I have a lot of influences in my life, and the coaches I had were kind of the coaches Jurgen Klopp also had, especially Wolfgang Frank is a coach who died also 7, 8 years ago, a fantastic tactician, to be honest. So if you see my tactics here, more or less in the board, they're quite similar to the tactics I used to play in Kickers Offenbach under Wolfgang Frank. And this coach is also a big influencer and has been a big influencer to Jurgen Klopp. So without any, I wouldn't say I would compare myself to Klopp and to, I would say the coaching changes every day. And as long as you go in this development on, and if you continue, then you'll be a better coach. If you copy a person who has been a coach 20 years ago, you stop on the level which is not actual anymore. So no, I like Kloppo. I love the way he treats his players, because also he has been a player. He hasn't been the best player, as I haven't been the best player in the world. And to accept that, and to accept that is a very important thing. You know, there are many coaches who always talk in the past. I rarely talk in the past about my own career. I just talk about the empathy I used to learn in the different clubs I played. But I wouldn't mind if I do the same career, obviously. And the only thing I'm a bit jealous about is his account, maybe. But the only things I'm happy with the person I am.
That's amazing. I read also very often, since we speak about past, that your favorite time was Malta, like the favorite time of football, like the way you felt at greatest Malta. What was actually the vice versa, the place you felt less pleasant for work to leave in your career life?
So you're asking me for the opposite of Malta, actually.
Yes.
Oh, no. I'm happy because, as I said to you, as I told you, every experience, wherever you are, has an influence on my further career and life. So I can't say that was one time where I can tell you when I didn't play, because I love the game so much. Of course, then you enjoy mostly when you play. I always mention Malta because when I went to Malta, my career in Germany had a bit of like a damage. I didn't play a full season due to an injury, and it was a hard time to come back. And Malta just let me play. I was in Valletta, which is a very big club in Malta. It's a small island, but Valletta is the most popular club, to be honest. And the supporters felt, yeah, they gave me a very big feeling inside the pitch. They encourage you a lot. Valletta people are very, very strong workers or hard workers, mostly in the port of Malta. They are not the upper class people, so I felt fantastic there. So nothing. I felt always bad when I didn't play, to be honest, and I felt always happy when I used to play. And of course, when you're winning, the life is always much better when you love football so much as I do.
This is very wise attitude, to be honest. People don't say it very often, but fantastic. Let's go to the future. And one more very unusual question for a football player or football trainer. Do you believe in horoscope or fortune teller?
Actually, not at all. I'm totally, I don't believe in, I believe in hard work. I believe in integrity. I believe in discipline, in focus, in absolutely professionality. I don't believe in, actually, I believe in God. I believe there is something above everything, because the creator must be around to create all this beautiful planet and the universe. But to be honest, I'm a very low believer. So should be more, actually, because I think it's very important to believe. But in horoscope, if you ask me for which star sign and which horoscope is every month, I would struggle in month 3 or maximum 4. I wouldn't be able. I know my horoscope. I know the one of my future wife, of my kids, of course, but the rest, sorry, I'm out of it.
I see. But since you said you believe in something bigger, and I know that football players, when you see them coming on the field, they kiss their cross, they cross the fingers, they make the cross. Like, do you have something symbolic, or did you have, or probably it came from your football life as a player to your trainer life, that you do something symbolic before the game starts?
Actually, rituals are important for me. Yes, a ritual is something you keep the energy in the dressing room. For example, our ritual here in this club is is a song. We always listen to the same song before the game, and that song has been following us through all the season, through all the difficult moments this season, and that's our ritual. But I always respect the belief of the players. For example, today is the Mubarak, it's the Eid Mubarak, the holy Zuckerfest in German, where the Muslim players they would love to join with their families. And for me, it's normal in today's life that you give these players the freedom today to not join the training, to join the day with a family. I believe the belief is something very strong. I don't believe so much as my players. Some of them do. So I respect them that they need their belief to be better human, so they're better football players. So for me, it's absolutely important that they feel well when they come here. And some players they need to believe, some players they don't. I respect everything.
Which song is that you listen to before the game with all the team?
Actually, it's a song of it's a chorus of fans sung by all over the world supporters. Napoli is singing this, Liverpool is singing this. I think also Borussia Dortmund is singing. The song is called Ale Ale Ale.
Okay.
Like Ale 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 Ale. We are singing this after we victories inside the dressing room and before the game as a ritual. The boys love it, so I'm happy.
Good. That's interesting. Now we know what Koblenz football players listen to before they go. Okay,
Exactly.
Heiner, what do you think about modern feminism? Like, it's a very hot issue. I mean, I think that different people now understand it differently. What is feminism for you, and how much you think this is a movement?
To be honest, when I don't have a clear opinion about something, I don't talk about it. I'm raised in a very clear family where it was a clear hierarchy. My father was the boss, was the earner of the money, was a strong big person who had the last word, and my mother was fine with it. My mother was always listening, was always happy in that position. So I had a fantastic childhood, to be honest, and I love a little bit the old type of education that I love. I love to be a father to my children, but with a background to being, I don't want to say the decider of the family. I'm not, completely not. My wife is the most important person in our family because she glues the family together, and I told you that's the most important for me to be a strong man. I need a stronger woman behind me. But I think the most important in life is to be happy, and there are so many different variations of love. So there should be so many different types of families of relations. So I'm fine with all, as long as you're happy, as long as you don't interfere with small kids, which is everything what has to do with children. I'm fine with this. You should, when you love, you love. You should be open. That's what I believe in.
Would you agree? It's sometimes like what you said, that father earned money and mother agreed to him because father had the last word. I agree to the situation when someone has more responsibility at home, like in the company, there is 51% and 30 and 49. It's never 50-50. So like the one who has more responsibility, the one who exactly, then the one has the last word, so to say. It doesn't have to be woman or man. It's just that every family decides for his own. But there will be always a leader in the family, no matter who is.
I believe a family only works out when the things come naturally. I don't believe that you can sit down and split up the decisions in percentages in a family. I think a percentage a decision has always to be taken. And to talk about it, I think this is the most important, to have always this perspective that for you, this now is on your left side and for me is on the right side, and to understand that this is the solution and this is the problem. I think this is the base of every discussion between women and men at home. So I have this discussion a lot. My future wife is Italian, so you can imagine how difficult sometimes to convince her. But I really love it, to be honest, because women sometimes they're the purer humans. They see the things less dramatically when you lose. They see it less euphorically when you win. So I have this balance at home to always to convince my wife, who's a very down to earth person, and that helps me a lot. But I think family should be always healthy. That's the most important. And at the end, who takes a decision and is fine with this can be the man, can be the woman, can be the child. Yes, but I believe in healthy family.
That's good. So everyone who is listening to us, Heine said to communicate is important, and then to discuss this, to discuss the perspectives. So discuss, people, talk, right? This is the solution for many, many problems when people express. So coming to expression, they say expressions, again, depressions, like many depressions and many bad moods, they happen because people do not express their ideas, their feelings, their sorrow, their grief, or their happiness, and they keep it inside. How do you express your emotions? Do you have special art talents, like to draw, or do you sing to express your emotions? Any other way to you express it? Writing?
I think also I have to be thankful again, because my job is a big privilege, even in expressing emotions, as you can imagine. You know, a football stadium is always an energetic field. So talking about my job, of course you can shout. You're allowed to shout. I have the big privilege at the end to decide. Also, I think I'm a type of a leader, to be honest. And when you can decide always, you get a good reflection for decisions. I think this is very important. You know, of course, not everybody can decide, and that's why I'm the last person you should ask about what to do when you have this type of starting of depressions, because I never, thanks God, had to deal with this, because also I believe that when you, let's see it like that, the luxury in my life is the time I have. Yes, not the money or the I think luxury and healthiness are the only values in life which are not replaceable from money or from every other thing in the world. So when you focus on that, that you use the time, as I say always, in the chain of moments, and you enjoy everything in life what you do, I believe you have the best cure from this type of feelings, which I never had. So I don't want to talk about it. But if I would give an advice to someone who maybe has it, I think I would try to think about life more about a period of time, and try to do everything what you love at the most, and try to do the things that you really don't like the less minutes of the day. So I believe in it. And if it's singing, fantastic. If it's drawing, even better. If it's hiking in the park, fantastic. So as long as you don't touch anyone, as long as you're completely good with everything, perfect. Go for it. Don't hurt no one, and go on. This is my philosophy about it.
It's not a secret that we all one day will die, and my followers often listen to the videos from me, and I often speak about death because I confronted myself with death. I know what it is, and I respect very much when people share this experience and talk about it. But I struggle that this subject is kind of forbidden in the society, or people avoid this, although it belongs to our life. Are you afraid of death? What is your attitude to death?
To be honest, till the day today, I've never thought about it. Yes, I think it would affect me much more when my family, when my friends, they get sick, and when they would face this. I have also this experience that my brother used to die, my father used to die. My grandparents died 2 years ago in the same year, so I was confronted a lot with death. But for my own life, I can say I'm not scared, because everything what's born will die one day. So I'm fine with that. I completely already accepted that. So I think, as I always repeat, that the time we have is borrowed time from God, from our mothers. So we should make the best out of it. And if you feel better by talking about your feelings during this process of dying, I think every second should be the best one you should have in this planet. So I'm completely fine with it. There are people who eat everything inside, and they do this with themselves. There are people who express everything out. I think you just should do what is good for you in that moment, and you should not think so much what other people think about what you feel and express. I think this is the solution for this. But the time is ticking away, and we will not change that. Even we wanted to, and even the medicine one day is so far that we live 500 years healthy, but even that time will be over one day. So I'm fine with it. I totally accepted it.
So people, do not be afraid of death. And I think death can make aware of life, because if once we actually know, if we see it around, if we will be more aware of death around, we will appreciate life much more. That's, I see you do quite vividly without being confronted to death. And I think this is the important thing, that people should not wait till this moment happens. They should use it an everyday experience, not thinking about it, but being aware. So know that it's limited. Any future plans, aims and goals, Heiner, in your next 10 years? Any ideas how you want to go on your life, being a coach, any new business or?
Of course, you have always professional dreams and ambitions. Yes, of course, they can come true, they cannot come true. I think this is basically, in my own hands. I think always that I can be the best coach every day and I can develop much better than I am. And if I do this continuously and I keep my feet on the floor and if I work disciplined, then maybe I will achieve one day my target. If not, I'm also completely fine. As long as I'm healthy and my family is, I'm fine with that. My biggest dream is coming true at the end of this year when my wife gets a first daughter, because I already have two sons and I was always wanting to have a daughter, and till last week we know that we are expecting a daughter, and this is something what I really wanted to do before I will leave this planet one day, to be a father of a daughter. And
fantastic.
I think because to educate a boy is not so difficult as a football playing father being a football coach, but to experience all the jealousy as a father with a I hope beautiful healthy girl. I think this is something I'm really looking forward to. And by then, I don't know. I don't want to be a coach till I'm 70. The work rate I do here with 70, I would kill myself with the hours I'm working here. So I want really to enjoy when I'm an old man, my daughter growing up and being a wise man, always there for her.
That's amazing. Yes. Bravo. Thank you for the news. Amazing. I wish your wife strong health, and so you guys keep smiling and enjoy this time very much. We're coming to the last block of our interview. This becomes a traditional EgoSelf talk. This is a quick answers block. I'm going to ask you the questions, which you're going to answer very quickly, as quick as possible. If you have something symbolic to do before, all right.
No,
Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Past or future?
Again, please. I didn't get you.
Past or future?
Future.
Present or future?
Present.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Malta or Germany?
Germany.
Ego or self?
Ego or
self?
Yeah, that's a good question now. Ego.
Okay, give me 5, me too. Would you change your football career to another one if you could?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to do anything constructively besides talking and being an example to my players. I would be the worst worker in a factory you could ever imagine.
Okay, lucky society. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
My impatience sometimes. I wouldn't consider patience as my strength. So for success, I have to learn that sometimes it needs a bit longer, because to plan success, it needs development, and development always has to do with time. So impatience, yes. Yes.
Accepted. What do you consider your greatest achievement in your life till now?
My children, definitely.
What is your greatest regret?
Not to spend more time with my brother, because he died, and to be honest, I didn't see him the last year so much, and we didn't have the chance to say goodbye. Actually, he died, and that's my biggest regret. Yeah.
Thank you for the answer. If you could take one pill which will make you immortal forever, would you take the pill?
No, definitely not. No.
And if you meet God after your death, what would you say to him?
Thank you.
And I
thank God. I don't see the glass empty. I see it always full. But actually, this comes with the time. I don't feel any pressure. I'm with a woman I want to be. I have the children I want to have. I have the job I want to have. Thanks God, after the death of my whole entire family actually in the last years. Everyone is healthy. My friends, they all have their own families with beautiful kids. I have not a lot of friends, but the true friends I have, I would say they would go through fire for me as I would do. And I'm very, very happy. So I should thank God not to always pray for more. And when I would pray for health and for time, not for money or for whatever.
Thank you, Heiner. That were very honest answers. Exactly what is Ego Self Talk is about. Thanks for being so open. And I think that all we talked about it today, expression, and we spoke about how discipline is important. We spoke how through other death we understand the worth of and value of life, about childhood. That was a very stimulating for others. I believe in it very much. From people like you to hear that. Thank you for your time on Father's Day. Thank you for all the great news. You guys rock it. And hopefully everything going to be fine. Stay healthy and happy. Thank you very, very much.
I have to thank you. Okay.
Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.